Hello. Welcome
Hi, everyone.
everybody. Oops, if I put my microphone down, we are running a bit late. So yeah. But if that's the worst thing that happens, then I'm okay. So let's go again. Hello,
the worst
everybody.
thing so far. I
The
mean.
worst thing so far. So
Yeah, I mean, let's introduce the stream. This is the final weekend of Belgium curling and also the final weekend of Curdia TV for this season. We have 3 more games for you guys. We have round 1, round 2, and then round 3. Hopefully, we will have an exciting round 3. What's at stake here this weekend is who is going to be the national champion of the doubles. We have doubles playoffs, and they will be playing in a round of 3.
yeah, and in true Belgian fashion, we're
yeah.
doing this in a kind of a roundabout way. So it's a round robin. So the regular season, we had 2 groups of 7 or 8. 7 or 8, whatever.
I think 8.
8, yeah, 16. So the top 3 teams from each group qualified for the playoffs. And so now they're doing a round robin play. That would be kind of okay, but they're not playing everybody. So they're only playing 3 matches.
They're playing the 3 opponents that didn't qualify from their group. So each group has
it's
3
a crossover.
Yeah, it's a crossover. But still, you didn't get to play everybody. And there are some really, really strange things going on with the format. We're going to mention them along as we go. But I wouldn't say unfair. Maybe that's stretching it too far. But for some teams, it feels unfair. I think Bilenki, for one, they've won their group with pretty big numbers. And now they basically have a pretty far shot to become champion. They're not even leading in the current ranking, and if they want to become the champion, they really have to hope that IDK loses at least 2 games, which is strange if you just won your group and qualified as first seed for the playoffs.
Yeah. So this is where the strangeness comes in. So instead of carrying over the total number of points they earned, or even just starting fresh, they're carrying over the points that they scored against the teams that qualified for the playoffs. Well, unfortunately for Bilenki, I think they have a draw and a loss against the other teams.
Yeah, they have 1 loss. They lost against the second of the group, IDK, but then they won all of the other games. So they just have 1 loss. But because that loss was against, maybe we can take a look at the ranking while we make these kind of explanations. So yeah. Okay. This is the ranking, and Bilenki, they have 1 loss. They lost against the second of their group, which was IDK. But because IDK qualified for the playoffs, they brought that loss into the playoffs, and therefore Bilenki has 1 loss and 1 win. IDK, on the other hand, they lost 2 games in the group stage, and therefore they weren't first; they were second. But those 2 losses were against teams that did not qualify for the playoffs, and therefore they are not carrying over those losses into the playoffs, and they entered these playoffs with a perfect score of 2 wins and 0 losses. That already gives them 4 points basically. So they have a 2-point advantage over Bilenki, although they were the second in that group, and Bilenki was first with a close to perfect group. I don't know the group stages by heart, but I think Bilenki was the best performing team in the group stages of both groups, but they entered the playoffs in 3rd position and already are down 2 points behind VD and IDK, which is strange, of course, but that's how the Belgium Curling Association decided to shape this format.
Yeah, and we've had a talk with them that probably won't go forward to next season. But we'll see. It depends on the number of teams, how they're going to split things up. But in the meantime, it's you can see it already. We had 1 match last night between Plastique Van Looy and Michel and José, and Plastique Van Looy easily winning that one 10-2.
Yep.
But those 2 teams are both near the bottom of the standings, so it's going to take some miracles for them to have a chance to win the title. Mm-hmm. I think Michel and José is already eliminated, but we'll see.
I think so, because Michel and José had 0 points. They are down 4 points. Since you only play 3 games, you can only score 6 points max.
Yeah,
so since they lost their first game, they can only score 4 points max. Won't be enough, I guess, to win the championship, so they're already out. I think maybe those points, based on those results, they count too much in the playoffs. Therefore, some teams are very close to becoming the champion, like VD and IDK, for example. They have 4 points. They're also very close to winning this playoffs, this championship. Whereas if you enter with 0 points, or even with 2 points like Bilenki, that handicap is maybe too much to to a race with just 3 games to play, and they don't have head-to-head matches, so you don't get to compete. They get to compete, like Belenki gets to compete against Vedi, but they don't get to compete against IDK. So this will be very hard to beat IDK, even if they have a similar result in the playoffs. IDK will still come on top.
Yeah,
strange all the way.
So it'll be interesting. So Sunday night, tomorrow night, we will probably still be trying to figure out who is champion, but we'll keep you posted. We've got 2 other matches going on tonight. Vedi against Belenki on sheet B, and then we have a placement match between Hammerheads and Monrocks.
Yep.
So that was a sort of one like, hey, if anybody wants to have their an extra round, they've got some. So some of the teams decided to play, some not. So we ourselves, we win by forfeit. So we finished 9th this year. Yay. We'll hang the banners up here next season. We'll have a banner raising ceremony, 9th place, Belgian doubles.
Very proud. And who knows, maybe it's important. I mean, we have 18 teams signing up, or 16 teams signing up this season. We didn't have an A and a B division because, it was too hard to decide of all these new teams who gets to play in the A, who gets to play on the B. So therefore, we had that system with 2 groups with a qualifier for the playoffs. If we have this much teams in the next season, I'm pretty sure the Belgium Curling Association will compose or create some kind of A division and B division, and therefore, who knows, maybe it could be important to be as close to the top half as possible, although I don't think we'll get to start in the A division with a 9th place.
No, I think we played ourselves out of it early. I think we had a pretty good finish to the season. Actually, a surprising win at the beginning. Beat one of the playoff teams, but
they didn't qualify.
No, they didn't make it?
No.
Oh, well then, okay, then I stand corrected. I was trying to think we got something good. We beat a very strong team, but they didn't make the playoffs this year. But I also think they were focusing a lot on the senior world championship.
The senior world championship. It was also their first doubles game like ever, so they had to figure out how doubles works. We got to take a little bit of advantage there because we had a previous season. But if we take a quick look at the current ranking again, because we can make our predictions. Today we have 3 games, and then tomorrow we have round 2 and round 3, so 6 games tomorrow, all listed out very nicely. But looking at the ranking, what would be your prediction? This is the current ranking, so Plastic van Looy, they move up 1 place. They hop over Michel and José. But if you would make a prediction, who do you think is going to become the Belgium national champions in the doubles?
Looking at this, I have to go with IDK. I think, Timo is just a really strong. Mirta has shown that she is capable of playing with anybody in this league. So I think they're going to be strong. I think Verla and Dirk, also another team to look out for. They are going to be challenging for the mixed doubles team this year or this coming season. And, they're played a really strong double season altogether already. So we'll see what happens. But I'm still going to go with IDK.
Yeah, I think, my doubts were like Belenki or IDK. If it wasn't for this playoffs format, I would doubt against would it be IDK or Belenki. But since Belenki is getting punished this hard by the system, they're off the table for me, unfortunately, because otherwise, if everybody would enter clean with 0 points, I would probably rank Belenki highest. But they're not. Yeah. They have the handicap, so that reduces. That would say IDK, and then Vedi. Since they have 4 points, that's such a strong advantage in the system with only 3 games more to play, and they get to play against, I think, the 3rd seeds of the other groups. So if I have to choose between those 2 teams, I'm probably going to follow you and say IDK has the best chance. Mirte and Timo, they're playing a very strong season, and also their team won the Gouden Carolus Cup with the 4 pioneers, so they have a lot of experience. I would go with Mirte and Timo. Dirk and Verle, they are the outsider, but because of the system that was created, they could be the dark horse of this playoffs. Who knows?
Could be, yeah. I see Nacho is in the chat.
Hi, Nacho. I hope we were able to kind of explain how it all works, but it will make more sense as we go along.
We'll as we figure it out, we'll try to explain it to you.
Like, basic story here is 6 teams are in the running. some teams have a huge advantage because they carry over some wins, and then the other teams, well, they on paper they have a chance, but I think Michel and Jose, they're already more or less out of the tournament. I guess they are. They can only score 4 points max. I don't think they will hop over. Even Plastique van Looy, they've won their first game, but still, 2 points is so little. They only have 2 more games to play. They can only have max 6 points. It will be maybe too hard for those bottom 2 teams to even be competitive in these playoffs, which is unfortunate because I think qualifying for the playoffs should put you in a position where almost everything is possible, and the better seeds have a slight advantage, but not that much of an advantage.
I would have liked to have seen like maybe top 4 from each group, and then they do a proper 4-round playoff, 3-round playoff, excuse me. Or they could have, what could they have done? They could have done like the Canadian style with the page playoff, where the top 2 seeds or the 2 number 1 seeds, to be clear, go automatically to the semifinals, and then the 2 plays number 3 and 2, and they play after the winners, then advance to the semifinals. So then everybody has a chance. And the advantages for the the top seeds is they have 1 less match they have to play. They go straight to the semifinals. So
even reducing the score, instead of using 4, 2, and 0, maybe do 2 and 1 instead of 4 and 2 would have been more fair, because then you carry over a little bit of advantage, but still not that much. You only have a 2-point gap between the first and the last, but now that 4-point gap is so huge with only, like we said, 3 games. It's too little. If you lose your first one, if you're one of the bottom teams and you lose your first one, well, that's it. It feels like some kind of knockout, an unfair knockout, basically. But well, enough bashing on the system. It is what it is, and eventually we'll have a champion. And if the champion would turn out to be Dark Horse Vedi, we might have will have some kind of comments about it. But
Tom asking us if we will share scores from the other sheets as well.
Of course we will.
No, Tom, we never do that.
That's
right?
the secret.
That's
for our premium fans. You're using the freemium subscription to Curdia. If you would go over to the premium subscription model, then you would have all this kind of...
you get full live feed, full score updates from everything, you know, all this stuff. So, no, of course we'll do that. So they are setting up the rocks.
Nice.
I think they have all finished.
Like a quick word on this game, because we haven't really introduced this game. We're going to see Wiki De Viking against IDK. IDK, your favorite, my favorite. Interesting combination of players, because we have a mother-daughter battle going on here with Kim of the Huskies and then Mirten of the Curling Cups, the Belgium juniors.
Yep. Wim and Kim, Wiki De Viking, they do not like playing on cast. So we're going to see how that affects them. It's like once they found out they were playing, they're like, oh no. So, and they historically do not play well. So this is going to be interesting to see if they can overcome the Curdia curse.
The Curdia curse, that's a nice touch. Yeah.
But I'm taking IDK. It's I can't pick them to win everything and then not pick them to win this match.
Mm-hmm. Correct. I'm gonna follow you there as well. Wiki De Viking, they were the 3rd seed from our group, if I remember correctly. So 3rd seed. I think they won 4 games, lost 3. IDK should be the favorite in this game.
Yep. All right, so I see Kim has thrown out the first stone, so why don't we, once we get the camera set up, there we go, see how this one goes in. Now, when I was out there setting up the cameras, it is quite warm inside. It was 6 degrees in there, which, if you've ever been here in the middle of winter when it's 1 or 0, this is quite warm for this, so it should have an effect on the ice. Give it a little bit more curl, maybe a little bit more speed. I like the positioning of Kim's first stone. It didn't quite get over to freeze, but it is shots, and it's at an angle that if they try to play it out, they could push their own red out. So we're going to see what Timo does here.
Yeah. We're going to switch the names in a second. It's always a guess who's going to play in what position, and also they can swap during the game, so this will be interesting for us.
Arto trying to sweep this one over.
Oof, catches the guard there. Open things up.
All right, opportunity here for Wiki De Viking to put some cover over it. Maybe even draw over onto the button itself.
These games should go faster than the regulars because basically you only throw 5 stones instead of 8.
Yeah, with fewer stones, fewer, a lot different strategy. You're not going to see as many stones bunched up in front, having to figure out a way in. You're going to see a lot more trying to draw it to the button. Ooh, is that going to get there enough? That sets up a dangerous double there. Yep, there we see it.
Timo called the takeout there. The hunt is open.
We'll say doubles is definitely quieter than the four-man game. You don't hear as much yelling. You don't hear... We've got 2 matches going on right now, and it's very quiet coming in off the ice. This one needs to curl over a little bit. I don't think it's going to, but should get rid of that one and leave the red back there.
Oof, they are lucky. I kind of fear that they might catch the red one just barely, but fortunate for IDK, they didn't. And now Wim gets to do a retry. I think the basic strategy and the battle plan you will see in these kind of doubles is basically the battle for the pin. Make sure that you are the first to put a stone on that on the button there. On the dolly.
Yeah, then you want to just cover it up. I think for now with Wiki De Viking not having hammer, they're just going to try to cover this position that they're in. They don't want it to get it too deep to leave up a double or anything like that. So this one is looking pretty good. No, this I think is going to be really good. As a guard, that's really good. There's enough space, there's enough distance between it. Now, I mean, you could still do that run back double, but it is a bit of there's a bit of length to it. This one's gonna curl over, gets on the nose, it just slides it past, but keeps it open. I think that's an important part for it too. Is like if they can't get both of them out, it's opened up. So it's gonna keep forcing Wiki De Viking to put stuff in. Oh, they just didn't take off the...
Yeah, I was kind of confused at a moment. Like, hey, did we miss an end? But then the previous game, they didn't clear
the scoreboard. Big karma points for Timo for taking care of that.
Yeah. He's aware of those things. That's something that deserves karma and our respect.
Whoa. That's
well, my respect.
That's a little far, don't you think? All right, another good guard. Gonna force him. We saw Timo kind of circle his finger over his head. That means let's play that same shot over again.
Yep. In the canteen area, that would mean he's giving a round of drinks, but on the ice, it's a total different ball game.
He called for peel weight on this one, trying to hopefully it doesn't over curl, but it looks like it's gonna under curl a bit. Gets rid of that top yellow.
Hi, Nacho. IDK means I don't know. That's correct. They were struggling with creativity. They couldn't find a good name, so eventually, like, what's going to be your name? I don't know. That was their story. So they ended up just picking the I don't know name. It feels like the temporary name that made it into the official competition.
Yeah. It's nice. It's short, easy to write, but not as necessarily easy to say. IDK is a little long.
It's
IDK.
Is it longer to pronounce IDK than just saying I don't know?
Yes. They're
Yep.
same number of syllables, but I think the IDK
Yeah.
doesn't flow as I don't know. Because you can also say I dunno.
Yeah.
It rolls off a little faster. You can kind of just push it all together.
It's like when the World Wide Web was invented, the person that decided to go with www instead of just saying World Wide Web. Yeah. It was a very poor choice of characters and words there.
Yep. I had a colleague that used to say trip dub.
Crypt up.
Yeah. Kind of like, okay, yes, that is shorter, but unless you know what that means, like triple, it's short for triple W. But the first time he said it to me, I was like, what are you talking about? I thought he said tripped up. I was like,
Yeah.
how is that better than just World Wide Web? A little bit of it. Looking at their options here, I think Kim and Wim
They
have
can
done a
score-
pretty good job
Yeah.
of covering it up.
If they can get rid, yeah, it's hard to get rid of that yellow one since their guard was very good. They
Yeah.
don't have a hammer, so that's an excellent guard there. They're looking at options to get yellow out. If they can get yellow out, they could end up scoring 3 points here. And that could be strong.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to use that because even if it, I mean, there's always the risk that okay, they hit their red out, but if they jam on their own red, they'll score 1. If it hits in that pocket, they'll score 2. If it hits just solely on the yellow, then they can score 3. So they have options. And 3 of the 4 options gets them scoring points. So this is definitely a good. Is it 4 options or 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 options. Let's call it that. 2 of the 3 give them point scoring opportunities. So I like this stone. I like this call. Marta is calling for the sweep. I want this to stay on the outside.
Then this could work.
Well,
This could work.
hey,
Aye.
that's not bad. I mean, that was one of the options. It gets in there, it scores. So
Red scored here, so red takes 1 point going in at number 2.
I like that play. Button has been clicked. You know, it's definitely worthy of a relook. We sound so unimpressed by it, though. It's early in the match. We don't want to get like super excited before we give them a chance to build things up. But I thought it was a pretty solid end from Wiki De Viking. You know, getting that one stone, their first stone in a really strong position, wasn't on the button, but it was in such a way that taking it out was always going to be a little bit risky. They were able to cover it up, force IDK to try to play some long run backs to double it out, and were unable to do it. So, hey, if you can, you know, Wiki De Viking, they shouldn't feel bad on that end. I mean, they forced the 1, and they forced them to make a very good shot, a very tough shot to score 1 there. So, I think a really good opening end. I'm just seeing they're putting it in 2nd position or 3rd position. 2nd. Now, it does look like the ice isn't nearly as curly as it was for the what tournament was it we just had? Corollas, thank you. Once it's passed, it's out of my head. I look into the next one. It's not curling quite as much, but it still seems to be curling quite okay out there. So here we have Timo leading IDK off here in the 2nd end. They lead 1-0 over Wiki De Viking. Coming wide. Let's see. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't curl as much as it did a couple of weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah, I think we would have been seeing more and more stones. Like where it was crossing the hog line, it would have come over definitely onto the center line there. But this is a very similar position that Wiki De Viking had with their first stone. So, and now with the doubles, for those of you who are new to this version of the game, the 5 rock rule applies to all stones. So they can't just go and take that stone out, try to take it out in the house just yet. They have to wait till 5 stones have been played. Now those 2 stones that start out on the ice, those count. So 1 more stone to play and then everything can be taken out. So that is why Kim is not trying to go over onto that red.
It feels heavy and wide.
Yep. This is not going to curl over like they need it to. We'll sit in the back of the house, but yep, I think just a little bit wide.
I have to say, I really appreciate the wiki jackets there, the Viking jackets.
I do.
They have a logo, but they have a personalized logo. They have the Viking crest, so the Viking hat, but there's a female Viking and a male Viking.
Yep. I really like that touch. It's nice when the teams go for and do that kind of stuff with their uniforms. Trying to make sure this one gets down. It's in an ideal position. Yeah, they'd like to be a little bit over the middle like that, half behind that guard. That's a pretty good position.
I like it, yep. Basically closes off that side of the house.
Yep. And it's behind that top guard, so it's going to be difficult to get on that, to run them, make a double. There we go. Nice shot of Kim's jacket there. This appears to be inside. I think that's going to catch onto that top guard. Might actually curl past it. Yeah, little bit of a turn there. Just gets past it. The weight was fantastic. That is absolutely perfect weight. But I think if it was online, they would have swept it to get it there. I think that's just a really good weight, but unfortunately a little bit inside, so leaves an opening for IDK to come over that side, do that same shot. Going for the takeout here. Murta saying, hey, isn't it better if it's we go a little bit softer on the weight? So that looks like that's what they're going to do. One looks to be okay. I think it's going to catch in and it's going to roll up underneath, and this is going to be a
good stone.
Good stone there, yeah. Thought that was going to get a little bit more rollover, but I think it's still in a pretty good spot. You can never tell what kind of stone Murta just threw. It could have been the worst stone in the world. She'd still have that smile on her face.
I think they might try a double takeout here.
Yeah, they don't want to leave things sitting around in the house there. It's not often you see a lot of takeouts and doubles, but sometimes you just got to say, all right, let's burn this stone. Let's get this out. But this one's going to be wide.
Yeah.
And that's what thing you just can't afford to do in doubles is if you're gonna use a stone for a takeout, you just cannot miss.
Takeouts, especially missed takeouts, they are very expensive in doubles.
So, couple updates from the other sheets. Oh wow, sheet B. They are flying through this match. Their match. They're already in the third end.
The third
as
end, wow.
Belenki leads 3-1 over Vedi. Belenki has the hammer in the third end there.
Could be interesting. Just imagine if Vedi would lose and IDK would lose, then suddenly the playoffs could become interesting.
Then Belenki has a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, because then the pack is more close together. The score differences are
Yep.
less big.
All right, over on sheet A. Oops, I have to see who has what color. Somebody's leading 1-0. They're in the second end, but
Ooh,
I don't know which color. That's which team is which color. So it's Monrocks against Hammerheads. So once I see which stone Andreska's down and throws, I'll know.
So Monrocks, they had 6 consecutive losses in the group, but they were able to win earlier today against Hubezig, and therefore they jumped to position 7. And Hubezig, they are last in the group with I think just 1 draw. They drawed against Campina.
Yep. Okay, so it is Monrocks with the lead over in that end.
Mm. They play against Hammerheads, right?
That is correct. Gotta get around it. It's gonna get around that first one, but will it have to wait to get around that second guard?
Light.
Yeah, it does. It's gonna curl over. And it's gonna tuck that other red one in there. Kind of gonna make things difficult to move.
So you can see 4 pretty good red stones, but luckily that starter stone for Wiki De Viking, the yellow one, is still, I think, in second position.
Yeah, I believe it's slightly better than that second red.
So they might look for options to tap it back now. That's the game plan.
Yeah. And honestly, where that yellow, that previous yellow stone from Wim ended up, there's a double there. If they really aren't careful, then IDK could look at that and go, well, we can get those out, and that would be really sitting 4. So, but they run that risk of running it over and jamming it onto it and giving IDK or Wiki De Viking a point. So they are just going to try to tap one of these red ones back a little bit deeper to get into second shot.
What's cool about this playoffs is so far both Timo and Jeroen kinda won all of the big prizes here in Belgium. They won the Belgium they are champion in the winter rounds and also in the spring rounds. So they won the championship. They also won the cup, the Belgium Cup with Team Breken. And then Timo and Jeroen, they also won the Gouden Carolus Cup with the 4 pioneers.
Well, that one curled over just a little bit, so didn't actually tap anything forward. So we're looking at the same. So now an opportunity for Wiki De Viking to still get in there and score. They just need to promote that yellow one a little bit.
Yep.
And yeah.
But still, it's a steal for IDK here so far, so that's a good result here.
Yeah. Wiki De Viking needs a good stone here. It's not a given that they're going to do it, but they do have backing.
Yeah.
However, if it's a little bit outside, it will hit off the red and potentially push that red one in closer.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. So
Yeah, or if it's too hard, they could end up doing what you mentioned before, that kind of double takeout.
yeah, they don't need to get it very far for that second red to start counting. So
No. Yeah, if they end up with no stones in the 4 foot and the red circle, they could end up giving IDK 2 points instead of 1, and that's also something they want to avoid. Yep. They have to try it. I mean, it's their only option to win this end here. Kim asking Mirte to put the broom. I don't know if she will. Normally she shouldn't. The opponents wouldn't do that.
I don't think there's a rule against it, but yeah,
No.
I don't think you would do that on purpose.
No. And now she's gonna sit down.
But where she's sitting, she kind of is sitting the broom. Honestly, that's about where I would be aiming with this ice. This one's a little bit wide. Is that going to have enough to curl over? Speed is there. It's a little light. It's not going to get there.
No.
Oh, maybe it is.
It'll
Wow.
only overcurls. It'll.
Yeah.
So that's 1 red, a steal for IDK as they go into the third end here.
Yeah, lots of I don't know, lots of red in the house, but really just a little bit. Yeah, you can see Timo showing Mirta what he was trying to do there, run it back, tap that red over onto the yellow, and they would have 2 or 3 there. So just 1, but hey, 1 is better than 0. Last time I checked my math, so IDK takes the lead as we head into the third end. They're leading Wiki De Viking 2-0. Kim threatening to ground Mirta if she keeps playing the way she has.
Yeah. Yeah, Mirta looking at a pretty big next year, since she's gonna play in the Belgian Curling League, of course, but also playing the Juniors Worlds.
Yep.
And playing the mixed team as well. That's
kind of have to wonder, does she go to school? Spent so much time here at the club. She does a lot of studying here at the club, just so everybody's aware. Yes, Nacho, you put the in doubles, there is that rule. Because they play with fewer stones, they wanted more action, so you start with 2 stones there. And the team that's... Now, see, this is where the rule gets different from 4-man. In 4-man, it's obviously if you won the last end, the other team has the hammer. In doubles, the rule technically is the team that lost the previous end gets to choose where the stones go. And it's the team that has the stone inside the red circle to start is the one that gets the hammer. So it's usually you choose for your team to be there, but sometimes people mess it up and they make mistakes, and then somebody who knows the rules will say, aha, you chose to put the stones there, and so I get to play as a hammer, and even though I just won. But that's very, very rare.
And then there's power play. Maybe that's too complex to add to the stake.
Yeah, without seeing it, hopefully we'll see a power play in this match, or at least sometime this weekend, so we can describe it. But it's really just changes the starting position of the stones. They go over to the left or right instead of in the center line. Okay, that one comes up a little bit short. So Timo is going to take advantage and say, let's try to tap our red one back. Use that yellow one as backing.
I think one of the things that you get with doubles is you rarely see blank ends or a strategy where they would play for blank ends, since you have stones in the house with some protection.
Yeah. I'm going to try to hold this one straight, get it around the guard, and then tap it back. But I think this one's just a little bit light, so it's going to start to curl. Yep, there it goes. It's going to hit onto the guard. So Timo wanted to open that one up a little bit just so they have an opportunity to do something with it. That's why he swept like that.
It felt like ages ago since we've played our last doubles game. I can't really recall when that game was. It was against
With like
P Square.
March, April.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a while. The reason why we're having this playoff weekend so late is just it was so hard to find like a good time slot in the calendar. So normally the club would have been having their end of the year barbecue this weekend and then closing the ice for good, but we had to keep it open an extra week to get this tournament in or get this playoffs in, and then next weekend we'll be having the closing of the ice.
Yep, closing ceremonies with the gala of the Golden Stone, little gala night here. Gala afternoon more. I think that's also the reason why we've seen quite a lot of forfeits with these placement matches. Only one placement match currently being played. The other 3 were scheduled for tomorrow. But none of the teams, or at least one team per game, decided to forfeit.
Yeah, it's really hard trying to do something when you haven't played competitively in a couple of months and going, well, do we want to...
There's so little at stake, like you're playing for 13th and instead of 14th, but you don't really know what's at stake. And then for a lot of these teams, it was also a surprise that they had to play. Most of the teams kind of assumes, well, if you don't qualify for the playoffs, then your double season ends after the group stage.
Yeah.
And then suddenly... It was a bit of a surprise that there were placement matches scheduled. Also for us, we didn't really anticipate it on playing a potential placement match.
Yeah, but I think the reason why they kind of wanted this placement, I think it was for next season's rankings, things like that. But I mean, does it matter if you finish 13th or 14th?
Yeah,
or
if there's going to be B division and A division, I think 13th or 14th. It wouldn't make a difference. You would end up being in the B division anyway. But the only place where it could matter is, I think, the difference between 8th or 9th maybe, or 7th or 6th, that kind of stuff. But as long as you're not in that middle region where you're just in the A division or just in the B division, then it doesn't matter at all.
Yep. All right, while they're discussing this, let's look on over to the other sheets. Over on sheet A, Monrock scored 4 in the second.
And that's a big one.
So they lead 5-0 over Hammerheads. And also over on sheet B, Belenki scored 4 in the third, so they lead 7-1 over Vedi in the fourth there.
We could end up seeing early handshakes maybe on the B sheet if they continue playing like this.
Maybe, yeah. It is a minimum of 6, so they have to play 6 ends, but it may not go past. Trying to sweep it and hold it. It's going to run it back and moves things around. Well, it took their own red out of there and put another yellow in the house, so... kind of a mistake there from IDK. This could give Wiki De Viking an opportunity to score a couple, get back into this match. There's room to curl around.
Yeah, I think Wim is just saying, let's draw it in. Just in front of the T-line is always a little bit better than on the T-line or behind the T-line in those doubles. That's a very important little detail.
Yeah, behind the T-line, the stone could never get into better positioning, only get worse, and the opponents can use it for backing. So to kind of stop their stone in place and lock it in. This one's going to curl over and get onto that red, I think.
Yes.
Just tips it, so kind of opens it up over there. So there's an opportunity. Yep, you see it. Timo saying, let's go onto the pin. Let's go after the button. We're not going to try to get rid of that yellow. We're going to use it for backing.
That's a very unfortunate miss there for Wim, because that was an opportunity for them to score 2 or 3 points in this end and just go into the 4th end tied. But now with IDK and Myrte succeed in getting a stone on the pin, that would put them in place for another steal. But I think this one is too wide.
No, this one's wide and it's heavy, so this one's going to go all the way through. So
a redo, a do-over for Wim.
yeah, he gets a chance to do that same stone he wants to do. Just gets it right up in there, just biting the 4-foot or the 12-foot. Just need to be just a little bit of that blue circle, not all the way in. It'll cover up the draw. It'll prevent the takeout from leaving them in a good spot. So,
and the interesting thing with doubles is the second player or middle player gets to play 3 stones, and since most of the times he will play typical draws, that helps to build your muscle memory, because you're basically throwing more or less the same stones all game long. So that middle player could build a good feeling for that draw weights.
yep. This one's got to get over the hog line. Okay, it's in play. So for the rest, this is just all gravy. Anything from here in.
Wouldn't
Not bad.
Biter would have been slightly better. Just
Biter would have been better, but this still takes out a lot of options. I don't think they can. The ice is curling enough to really get over onto the button, maybe, but it's going to be a really tight one. So
I still would have preferred that Biter, just to leave an option to score. Who knows, maybe 3 points.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think if this one was half a stone more to the outside, it would take away that that draw lane and still leave the center closed up. So it's I don't hate the stone. I don't think it's bad. Just could have been slightly better. And yeah, obviously if they could have put it into the house, then it could have scored for them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it more difficult for IDK to do something. And important for IDK is to get a stone in the house. That's the most important thing, because if they don't, that's going to give Wiki De Viking a free shot or free attempt to score 3 here. So mission number 1 is get it in the house and as close to the pin as possible, preferably very hard to take out. Also leaving it open for takeout could end up hurting them.
This one looks wide. Is that going to hit off the yellow? Trying to curl it over.
I think they were looking for that little roll. That's the intent there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they want to bury it. That was the intent.
Look at this. Oh, moves it into shot position. What? No, that was a mistake. No, that was that was a mistake, but hey, that's sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Now what options did they have? That was amazing.
Yeah, for a minute there I thought, well, I can see why a small hit and roll could be good, because if you want a stone in the house and if you want it protected, so not open, then a hit and roll is a good option to do damage control and avoid Wiki De Viking from scoring 3 here. So that would have made sense to play that stone, like give up the fact that you can't win the end, but just give Wiki De Viking 1 point in return for the hammer.
Yeah, but just the right weight on it, slides over into the house, into shot position.
Now, very difficult mission here for Wiki De Viking to avoid another steal for IDK here.
I know, this is
so hard. That was perfect. Basically, this was the perfect stone for IDK.
It was the biggest luck.
That was shot of the match. It would have been shot of the match if it was intentional, but we don't award lucky shots right there.
I've awarded several over the season.
I'm gonna just double check if he runs back. Was it intended or was it?
I don't know. Since he was telling us that we should not choose it as shot of the match.
Was it the intended goal? No, it was a lucky shot. Yeah.
Well, Kim looking to do maybe the same thing.
And it could work.
And what an
very
effort.
good attempt. Very good attempt.
Great effort. Wow.
Yeah. It was a very good attempt there.
Big tip of the hat for Kim on giving that a shot and coming up, just being a little bit off, but that's such a hard shot to do. Click it.
Yeah.
Well, we're
give her credit since that was the intent, of course.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah, I'm guessing that was the intent. You're never sure, of course. We're always guessing around.
So Myrta has a note for her crush.
I don't know if she...
No, Band-Aid. She cut herself.
And we don't want any blood on the ice.
So let's see what we can see from the other sheets. Oh, update from sheet A. Monrock scoring another one in the third end, so they lead 6-0 over Hammerheads in the fourth. Over here on the broadcast sheet, we start off end number 4 with IDK leading 3-0 over Wiki De Viking with that accidental circus shot from Timo.
Even when Wiki De Viking, when they have the advantage, when they're putting up a good end, then Timo ends up throwing a lucky shot.
Yeah.
Is that the luck of the champion there? Did we witness...
I think in any sport, in order to win a title, you have to have some luck sometimes. It's not always about skill. Sometimes you just have to have the breaks go your way. And, well, that is very certainly one of the breaks going your way. This one gets around the guard. It's going to come up just a little bit short.
Slightly too short.
Great line there. Just a little bit more weight.
So, also an interesting little detail with doubles is, as a team, when you throw the first stone, you basically always have to decide whether you're going to use the sweeper and measure, or whether the second person will put the broom and you throw on the broom. That's something every team has its own preference.
Yeah, and you have some teams like us where we mix it. We'll often start out with the sweeper just to kind of get timings and figure things out. But then as we progress through the match, we start playing more and more, just put the broom down. And usually by the second end, we've put the broom down. We stand for the broom. Yeah, Myrta's asking about why don't we try to play the tap back, but Timo explaining how geometry and angles works, so...
Yeah.
This one's got it's going to get around the guard just fine. Is it going to have enough to curl over? It does. We'll tap that yellow one. Oh, very nice stone there. Really good. Leaves it in a strong position. Has that backing, so it's going to be difficult to get rid of, but it is behind the tee line, so Wim is going to be able to try to get this around and get on the button. And freezing up against that red would be ideal, I think.
So virtually IDK is leading the rank, and they are the virtual doubles champions so far, but it's too early.
I don't want to crown anybody just yet. Light on that one catches the guard. splits it open. So now this is a strong position for IDK.
Yeah, yeah. If they're able to put a good guard, then they're looking at another steal here. And the thing with doubles is, since you only play 6 stones and you only get to throw 5 of them, since the first stones are already put in place, that means you don't have that much stones to clear things up and to play in that kind of middle part of the game.
Yep.
If you're in a situation where you have to start to clean, then you better start quick. You don't want to do that with your last 2 stones.
That one looked like it was going to be quite wide, but you see way out on the side of the sheet, there's a little bit more curl there, so that one came in a lot. Ended up a really nice positioning. Just going to try to clean this out.
Yeah, and another takeout. And remember, we saw Wim missing a takeout earlier. That was very expensive. I hope he manages to improve on his takeouts in this 4th end here.
This one is gonna get around that yellow, but they want to clean out that middle red, so a little bit inside again from Wim.
Those are the kind of takeouts you don't want to miss, because you don't have that much opportunities to rethrow them. For every takeout you miss, IDK is just gonna put another guard, and before you know it, you're down to the last stone. Goes way more faster than a normal 4-4.
Yeah, just simple little guard here. Try to put something in the way there. Not a whole lot of options here for Wiki De Viking. Just gonna have to try to do it again. If they get this right, there is a slight chance they can double out.
There's always the risk they lose their yellow stone sitting 2nd, but then again, being down 3 points, they're at the stage where they have to take risks.
Nope,
this is not helping here.
Gets rid of their own. Yeah, that's definitely not what you need to be doing. You need to get those stones in place. Yeah, just a little bit. And Tim saying now really it's a lot.
Things are looking good if you're IDK right now. Would they look for an option to get yellow out and maybe do a little check there? Because if they get out yellow, they could sit 3 with a very difficult way for Wiki De Viking to still win this end. And if they do a steal of 2 points or more, that could be a big gap to bridge for Wiki De Viking.
Yeah, this is true. And I think that's what IDK is looking at. They aren't going to really worry about the big scores.
No.
Just keeping control of the ends, score 1, force Wiki De Viking to make a difficult shot to score only 1. I think this one's looking pretty good. Just needs to curl over. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just over enough to kind of cover it up, and there it goes. Yeah, nice stone there. You're definitely not looking good here for Wiki De Viking. I think Myrta's going to be grounded tomorrow, so she won't be able to play.
Yeah, quite the pressure here for Kim. She knows that this is going to be a very important last stone and a difficult one, because the options to score and win this end, they're not that great.
And there's also a very risky. There's a good chance they could even move their own yellow and
Yeah.
give other scores to IDK. So not just such a hey let's hit and hope or
Yeah, it's a difficult shot, and there's indeed a little trap set up. At best, you score 1.
here we go.
All or nothing. No sweeping so far. A little bit of sweeping.
I don't really think there's a chance they
No.
can get to shot. It's just
I really doubt whether it will curl enough over on that side to really get in a scoring position. It curled behind the guard, but is it going to get deep enough?
oh, that would have had a chance, but yeah, needed
Yes.
just a little bit more legs. There we go.
Yeah. I must say that was a very good stone, but yeah, I mean, she knew it was close to impossible, even with a very good stone. That mission was very hard to succeed.
Yeah, so another steal for IDK of 1 there. Let's see. All right. Well, we are halfway through this match. IDK is just putting up sticks on the board, but enough to lead 4-0 over Wiki De Viking. Wiki De Viking's not out of it, but they're gonna have to reduce these mistakes. They've missed a few takeouts. It's come up a little bit light on a couple of stones.
No power play so far.
No.
This is typically one of those situations where a team would opt for a power play just to kind of switch or turn around the situation.
Yep. I think if I was Wiki De Viking, I would have done it for sure in this end, if not the last one. Try not to let this get too far out of the way, but you know, a lot of teams like to save it for like
Or forget about it, or
they forget about it, or feel like we don't play it enough, so we can't do it.
yeah,
or
they feel uncomfortable playing it because it also shifts around the way you look at the game or the way you have to think about tactics. Could put you off. I remember one of our games, we confused ourselves with a power play situation against Vedi.
Yeah, we played the defense instead of the offense, so didn't help us as much as we would have liked, but it was also our first chance going for a power play, so... Yeah. That one coming up a little bit light. Had a really nice line. Good position, just needed a little bit more oomph behind it. It does kind of cover up the line going to the back of the, or to the pin,
Yeah.
so not an easy draw around, but there is still room.
The draw is there. It is possible. Although this is already curling too much,
No,
and it's also too light.
Yep.
Then, yeah, would you sweep to split the guards? I guess
No,
not.
it's not gonna matter.
No.
Far too light for it to be to do anything around.
Yep.
He looks all right there. Is it getting around?
Looks
Well,
like
is it going to
is.
get there? It's going to get around the guards. Is that going to get down there? Timo
like
coming
this
out to
one.
make sure.
Get it as deep as possible. Make sure it's close to the pin. Get it in scoring position.
No,
Just not.
just light, but
They can always improve it.
Yeah.
Thing is, now Wiki, they can draw over on that side. That window is closed, and they have to avoid even tapping that red one in scoring position. So if you're up 4 against 0, that's a good stone, because it takes so much options away for Wiki to win this end, let alone score a big house.
I would think that Wiki De Viking might consider trying to peel off that red, but it does leave it open. It would leave a chance for.
They need
so
that yellow stone there. It's still in a scoring position.
This is gonna tap it over. That's not a bad result.
Nope.
That's gonna make it very difficult for IDK to tap back. I mean, they can, but it's not an easy one to get the right angle. We're looking at what do we do here? Because that yellow one now could be run back or tapped back into the scoring position as well. So maybe they're going to try to cover that one up. Cover it up or just knock it out of the way. This one's going to be all right. It's going to curl over, get on the nose.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Potential shot of the match here, because this could seal the deal for for Wiki. They have no more stones in play. IDK, they have 3 stones. 2 of them are sitting very close to the pin in front of the line. This almost gives them the win in this hand and maybe the game. So I'm calling this shot of the match.
Yeah, clicker has been clicked. That was fantastic. I didn't think that was going to have a chance to get over on it, but that was a good call from Timo to keep it to get her off the sweeping, let it curl over just enough to run back straight.
Yeah.
Oh. Oops. Nope. Sorry. I have updates, but I'll wait till after.
Yeah. And you can see Kim calling, okay, let's clean up, but the expression on her face kind of told the story.
Yeah.
It's not what they like to do, but it's what they have to do.
Yeah. I mean, throwing takeouts in doubles is just like, it's not a great feeling. You just feel like I'm wasting a stone here, especially when you were sitting in a good spot and now you're not. So now you're chasing in the end and you have to waste a stone just cleaning stuff up to get a chance. So while they're discussing this, an update from Sheet B. Belenki scored 4 in the 5th end. So they lead 11-2 over Vadi. And over on Sheet A, Hammerheads scored 3. Bring themselves closer in there. So they're in the 5th end there, and Monrocks leads 6-3 over there.
6-3, yeah. I mean, that was an important treehouse there for Hammerhead.
Absolutely.
But then it's fair to say that Belenki wins their game, leading 11-1. And again, since you only play 6 stones instead of 8, the max amount of points you can earn in an end is 6.
And that's only if you have the hammer.
That's only if you have the hammer, and only if you manage to get all 6 stones in the house. That's
well, that's not true. You can do it without the hammer, but you need help from the other team pushing one of your stones into the house.
Yeah, so it's way more difficult. So yeah, what do you do now? Try to peel off those 2 red stones?
Yeah, I think I'm throwing hack weight. Well, I'm looking at, There's part of me that wants to go, okay, let's try to clean up those reds, but I don't think you can get both of them.
No.
So getting rid of one, but you'll still lose your stone. So trying to tap this yellow one back into play, into scoring shot, I think that's a better. I think that's the better play.
I think that's what they're looking for. If they are able to tap the yellow stone on the pin, then it's dangerous because the way that shot stone of red is sitting, red could also tap it right back out again. But it's probably their best go. Yeah, at this point they don't have any perfect options anymore. They have to go with the okayish option, and then
yeah, this is not a high strategy shot or a high percentage shot here. So, and that's the one of the best defensive strategies you can play, especially in doubles, is you can't take away everything, but you can take away the easy shots. So leave them something that's not easy to do.
This one is also.
This one doesn't look too bad. I don't know. Oh, he didn't. I think he just let it go and.
Yeah, needed the
to
angle.
kind of sweep that. Yeah.
Needed the angle.
But that yellow is that last shooter is a little bit better position, so maybe it could still happen. But yeah, this is gonna be. IDK is probably going to put up a draw here on top of those other two, freeze it up against it, leave them in a strong position to score 3. Quite the conundrum for Wiki De Viking there.
If you're Wiki, I mean, IDK only scores 1 stone each end, but still, it feels like you're not in the game. It feels like you don't get a grip on the game.
Nope. I think, well, yeah, they had the one end where they were in really strong position. Unfortunately, a bit of luck not going their way, and so that's got to be really demotivating. It's like we're in this, and then they get this one where they score, and now we have no shot.
Yeah. Yeah, IDK favorites to win this game. Maybe they knew, but then you have to hope, well, there's always a fighting chance. But they weren't able to make use of the opportunities they were given, and then in the end where they were in favor, then if IDK also has the luck to even win those kind of events, then what do you do?
But we've seen teams come back from this kind of deficit. Who Basic came back, they were down 6-1, and they ended up winning leveling the match 6-6.
Yeah.
Or was it the other way around? They were up really far and they held on. Either way, we've seen it happen.
Yeah, but I think in most of the cases, those kind of huge comebacks are also tactical mistakes from the team with a big lead, because they get out of focus, or they forget that they don't have to win an end. They just have to maintain the gap and bring the win home.
Yeah, they start playing conservative and cautious.
Team was not the kind of player that would lose track of the end goal, and he wouldn't put himself in a position where he would allow that kind of huge comeback. Of course, it could always happen, but he's very aware of those things not happening. But it did happen in the World Curling Tour event. Remember Team Hurtman, the Polish team, beating Team Vreken after they were leading big halfway.
That is true. That is correct. All right, so they do have an outside chance of scoring here. They just need to get it fully into the red. There's an open path to it, but there's not a big margin of error for getting this into the right spot. So first of all, getting it around these first guards. This is not going to be heavy enough. It's too light. That's going to curl over.
Oof,
maybe no. It's gonna take all the steam off of it. So
this is 2 for IDK. They keep increasing their lead with a steal of 2. Yep.
ooh, now they lead 6-0 now. 3 ends left. This is gonna be tough. This end is going to be hugely important for Wiki De Viking.
Yeah, I think
they need to score 3 or more, and then they have to steal the rest of the way to try to win. So they need a big end. I think we're going to see a power play.
yeah. This is one of those situations where Wiki De Viking is either going for a big house or a handshake. It's sometimes it comes down to that. Who knows? Could also be that they just want to play because curling is fun and you only get to play 3 games in this weekend.
Yeah, it's the end of the season. Who knows if people are going to actually come. We've already had the club championship decided. Are people going to come to the club nights next week and throw some stones? I mean, it feels like, coming in tonight, it was 25 degrees outside. It's nice and warm and sunny. It's not curling weather anymore.
Most of the curling clubs already closed down for the season. I think Belgium is one of the maybe the latest in the season to be open. I can't really.
I believe I've heard of clubs that stay open all year round, but I don't remember. But I don't think they do seasons. I don't think they. Well, I guess if they're open, they might as well have leagues. But who knows. All right. Timo is going to start us off here in the 6th as they lead 6-0 over Wiki De Viking.
Not a lot of pressure anymore for IDK. It feels like they just have to finish it. Don't make mistakes.
I think they're going to want to play. They're still going to want to finish. They have 2 more matches, so they don't want to let a bad habit or 2 creep in and then have struggles tomorrow. So I think they're going to try to stay sharp.
Yep.
I think if Wiki De Viking doesn't score at least 3 here, that's probably handshakes. Even 2 would be quite a lot. Leaving 4 left where you have to steal it. 3, you never know as well. They might even choose to stop it after that. But I'd like to see him go. I'd like to see a run at a comeback. I still want to see IDK win, but I'd like to see Wiki De Viking to have something positive come from tonight.
The good thing about the 3 rounds and the way the BCA scheduled them on the broadcast sheet is we're going to see every team in the playoffs on camera this weekend.
Was that on purpose or a happy accident?
I think it was on purpose. It was one thing well planned for the playoffs.
Yeah, now they've started to figure out hey, C sheet is the broadcast sheet. Things gonna be on there, so they're looking to get people. They started doing it with the tournaments, trying to get as many people on the broadcast sheets as possible. So get a little promotion for all the teams here in the sport that come and play here. Well, I see handshakes have happened over on sheet B. Not really a surprise there with the score. Just don't know who won that last end because nobody put up the final score. This one's going to curl over. Kind of still leaves that middle open, so still an opportunity here for Wiki De Viking to get something in there.
What? Well, rewind. Wim was not listening. You should. He doesn't know the rule. If a woman talks, you listen. You don't ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you don't know what to say.
This one's a little bit wide, but it's going to curl over there. There it goes.
Oh, this is nice.
Very nice. This is gonna
I like
freeze
it.
up against it. Ooh, maybe a tap too hard? No, that's very,
Excelente.
very nice.
Just what they need.
Yeah,
Now follow up with a couple of more of these draws.
yeah.
Take a 6 house.
Get themselves right back into it. Yep. I think Timo saying, "Hey, let's get the hack weight. We can try to get both of these out, at least one of them." And at the very worst, even if it gets onto their own reds, it opens things up. They're okay with that. This one is a bit light and is going to curl over.
Yeah, hits the guard already.
And then is going to still leave that gap open there. So I think we're going to see Wim just come right back.
Yeah, I mean, don't be too hard for me to don't forget that she has an injury on her
Okay.
finger there. And
Paper
you-
cut. It's
yeah.
terrible. No idea why what's going on, but yeah, putting a bandage on her finger.
I hear some kind of stumbling noise, maybe on the H key. Somebody.
Yeah, Myrta has her. I think a stone hit the hack.
Okay, yeah.
Either a stone or Andres hit the hack, but the way he was looking down at the hack, it was more, I think, the stone hit it.
This is a very unfortunate failure again. Wim leaving it short. He had an option to just put another stone on the house. Kind of building up your stack of points there in an attempt to score a big house. And
Yeah.
a guard is useful, but it's useful to an end.
Well, I don't know. If they're looking to score 3 in this end,
Yeah.
close it off now. Protect those 2 in the back. And they've got the hammer. Try to get that last stone in
Yeah, I understand.
another place. So, but yeah,
then again,
it's-
why don't then a biter would have been better? Always
Yeah.
put something in scoring position, even if it's a small biter. Maybe that
Yeah.
was what they were going for. But,
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah,
Highlights that's been clicked. That's going to be on our TikTok reel.
yeah. Or non-curling fans, it's sometimes hard to know what all of these kind of secret body language messages mean.
Oh,
Reminds me of Mr. Burns doing kind of coaching on the bench in one of the Simpsons episodes.
I don't think that was anything in particular. I think he was just trying to get Myrta to smile. Just trying to clean these up.
Yeah, open up the middle, and who knows, another
Oh.
lucky one. They get out, they get one yellow out.
Wow.
And this is a happy little accident because the house is clean and the way or the path to the house is open.
It's
and
open, yeah, so.
what they achieve here is they get a Yellowstone now, so the scoring potential of Wiki De Viking is now reduced to 3. Not intentional, but big revenue from the stone.
Now this one needs to get behind the guards. It's wide enough. Is it too wide?
So it looks a bit heavy.
Yeah, it's going to be back on the yellow. Probably tap it a little bit further away. But yeah, now it's both sitting right there behind the tee.
Yeah, it gives such a good option for IDK to freeze or even put something in the red in front of the tee line.
Yeah.
Could be good to put it in scoring position. They have a big area to put a stone in scoring position with the backing that's prevents Wiki De Viking from taking it out. So
Yeah, Timo, his first look was let's freeze or take out. Nose hit on that last one on those stones would be fine. At this point they don't really have a problem with anything. They've got so many options here.
Yeah,
Just make sure that that Wiki can't score.
I think that's the angle here. Put something in the house is a good option, and if it's in a good position, then If you only allow Wiki to score 1, I think that's something they can really hand over to Wiki. Just give them 1 point in return for the hammer. You're leading 6. Something tells me he's going to try to do a takeout.
Ooh, maybe a bit inside. No, that's going to be all right. Maybe a bit outside. It's going to catch one of them.
See, so now, since they lose a shooter, they allow Wiki to score 2 with an open house. The thing is, if you want to do that kind of quick shots, go for the shot of the match, then if you're leading 6-0, you're allowed to do that, or you have the kind of margin to do those kind of shots.
Yeah, it is kind of the position where you can do that.
If their lead would have been small, they would have never went for that option, I guess. Yeah, shot of the match is a big prize to win. And since I think currently Mirte had the shot of the match, at least in my book.
Yeah.
There we have wink confirmed.
It's good timing too. Pizza's just arrived.
So that's Kim's way to lock and load on the targets.
This one looks good. Just needs to make sure. Oh no, that's lights.
And the house is fine, but they need to
come on, Pim. Wim sweep. Pim till Wim to sweep.
It's going to be short.
Way. Get in there.
It's too short. It's too short. And those are the points. They are 3 points, and you just throw them away like that.
No.
That's doesn't really matter since you're probably going to lose the game anyway. But still, it hurts. It hurts if you leave stuff short like that.
So, what are they choosing to do? Play on? It is their option. It is Wiki De Viking's option of playing.
Yeah, it's Wiki's call here. It's their decision to either shake hands or not. And are they asking for a timeout? No, there's a handshake.
No, they are shaking hands there.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, they needed multiples, probably 3. 2 maybe would have seen them play another one, but
big winner here for IDK as they move on to the first position. They take a 2-point lead over Vedi. Vedi lost their first round game against Bilenki there. So important win for IDK, and I'm gonna fill in the handshakes. Confirmed win for IDK, and Timo is of course MVP here to put up the final score.
All right.
So
at least we know what happened in this match. We still don't know what happened at the end of the other one. Well, quick update. Oops, we'll cut over to the booth. I'm going to look out over the ice really quick. Quick update from Sheet A. Monrox scored 1 in the 5th and the 6th, so they lead it 8-3 in the 7th end over Hammerhead. So I think that one's probably heading for handshakes pretty
good end of the
well.
season there for Monrox. They had a losing streak of 6 games, but then they managed to win their last 2 games. So
it's always going to feel good heading into the summer with a win under your belt.
All right, so for this game, I think we had an obvious prediction for IDK to win. Obvious, maybe not that obvious, but they were the favorites, and we went for the favorites. And the favorites, they didn't let us down or let their fans down. They just won the game, stealing end after end. And they are currently the best team in the playoffs ranking so far. But 2 more games scheduled tomorrow. We have, let's see if I can find a spot. We have here Vedi against Michel and Jose tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And then later tomorrow.
Oops, it's my other hand.
That's by your hand. We have Plastique van Looy against Bilenki. Looking forward to seeing Bilenki play. I'm kind of hoping that Bilenki will still be in the running for a championship, because that would mean we would have a game on cast with something at stake. The thing at stake being the doubles championship here.
Well, I think so. I mean, do we have, let's bring up the standings quickly. We can take a look at it. So IDK will have 6, Bilenki will have 4. There's still an opportunity, except there's no head-to-head matchup between them.
No, that's the unfortunate thing. There is no head-to-head, so
Bilenki needs help. And does it gonna go with? Do we know if the regular season head-to-head matches will actually play in a tiebreaker here? So if
I think the tiebreaker will be LSD. I don't really know, but I'm just otherwise the advantage of those of those carryover games would be too much.
I think
really
so.
too much.
I think so.
I'm guessing LSDs. I'm really hoping it's LSDs.
That's at least something. I mean, that's that way they at least have, it's something that they had in their hands instead of like almost a coin flip. But
yeah. Looking at tomorrow's schedule, tomorrow we have Wiki De Viking playing against Bilenki, and then Plastic van Looy against IDK. But on stream, Vedi, Wille, and Dirk, they have been, they were the official Belgian national doubles team. Currently is Daniel and Stefan, but they did not qualify for the playoffs. And they play against Michel and Jose, 2 players from Housekeepers, upcoming talents. No surprise they managed to reach the playoffs. Could be an interesting game here.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I think all of the matchups we have left, even on the broadcast, are going to be interesting. All the teams that are left in the tournament or in the playoffs they're good teams. I mean, they played a long season to win and get to where they are, so it's not a fluke that any of them are here. You do have these kinds of nights where, hey, it doesn't go your way and you drop a big one, but we've seen some of the best teams in the world do that too. So it's happens at all levels of curling. So good first nights, I think. We're looking forward to 2 sessions tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate having you all here. I am late on posting all of the shots of the match from last weekend, so these will be also late, but hey, we'll have content over the summer.
We have a whole summer to post content. We'll just do that out of Bora Bora. Well, John and I will be drinking cocktails. Happens. It's the thing we have to do. We also have to kill our time while we wait for next season to start, but I think we can wrap up today's game.
Yep.
One more day of Curdia, and then we close off for the summer. John, honors is for you to close the stream tonight.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye now.